Choosing the right learning strategy and AT tool, using the SETT framework. Leo's learning profile. Leo is a 10-year-old boy in grade 5. He's very friendly and has strong social skills. He's very creative and loves to tell stories. He has good math skills, and he's able to demonstrate a good understanding of concepts orally. However, Leo has trouble with his written output. He has messy handwriting and often gets overwhelmed when he's asked to write. He says his hand gets very tired when writing. He has interesting ideas, but when he tries to write them down, his sentences are jumbled, disorganized, and lack any structure. His sentences are usually short and lack detail. Leo has been diagnosed with a specific learning disability. He has high intellectual functioning, verbal comprehension, and problem-solving skills. His psychoeducational assessment states that Leo has working memory challenges and difficulties in consolidating and recalling information. Leo also has weaknesses in executive functioning and fine visual motor challenges. Leo's task is to write a paragraph about how he spent his summer holiday. He must follow the stages of the writing process and begin by brainstorming and organizing his ideas. First, let's determine what learning strategy will help Leo accomplish this task successfully. Concept mapping is a powerful learning strategy. It is the process of organizing and representing concepts and their relationships visually. Research demonstrates that concept mapping engages students in all levels of Bloom's taxonomy. It enhances the ability to understand complex materials, develops a greater capacity to organize final products, and communicate abstract concepts. It also engages students in meaningful learning process. Concept mapping helps students differentiate between main points and supporting ideas. It facilitates brainstorming and organization and the synthesizing of information from different sources. We can use the SETT framework to determine what AT tools can help Leo with his concept mapping task, allowing him to bypass his learning challenges. Step 1. Let's look at our student. What does Leo need to do? What are his abilities and needs? Leo needs to organize his thoughts into a coherent paragraph. He has excellent ideas and can elaborate orally. However, his ideas are often mixed up, and he has trouble writing them down using paper and pencil. His hand gets tired, and he just tries to get the most important ideas out. Leo tells the teacher that he has some ideas that he would like to write about, but he gets frustrated when trying to get his thoughts down on paper. Leo has a good understanding of how to use graphic organizers, but prefers to have someone scribe his ideas for him. Step 2. Let's examine Leo's environment. What are the instructional and physical arrangements? What equipment is available in the environment? Are there people to support Leo with his needs? What are the attitudes and expectations of the students and teachers in Leo's class? Leo is in a classroom where several students work on laptops. His teacher is very supportive of the use of assistive technology tools in the classroom. Leo has his own laptop that he's able to bring into class. He works with a resource teacher for an hour per day, 3 times per week. They work together on the development of his writing skills. Step 3. The task. What activities are occurring in the class that will help Leo achieve his goals of developing his writing skills? What are the critical elements of the required task? Leo's teacher would like every student to start the writing process by brainstorming. She gives the students a choice of different kinds of graphic organizers to use to generate ideas and structure their thoughts. Writing is a challenge for many students with disabilities. Written expression places many cognitive demands on students, including holding in memory text structure, ideas, and writing conventions. Students with writing challenges often employ a knowledge-telling strategy where they simply dump everything they know about a topic on paper without any structure or fluency. Their writing is often short and uses limited vocabulary. These students often have low motivation when it comes to writing, even if they have great ideas. The main question, then, is what AT tool could assist Leo with implementing a concept mapping strategy to help organize his thoughts and produce a coherent paragraph? This leads us to step 4, the tools. Does Leo need AT to help him bypass his writing challenges? What low-tech and high-tech options are available? What strategies need to be taught to increase his performance, and how will we monitor whether the tools are working? There are a few options for Leo. He could try a low-tech option, such as using pencil and paper and a graphic organizer. However, this would require writing with pencil and paper. Leo could opt for a high-tech option, such as concept mapping software. This would alleviate the frustration of writing with pencil and paper. If Leo and his teachers opted for concept mapping software, he would continue to require writing strategy instruction from his classroom and resource teacher. He would also need to work with his resource teacher and in-class teacher to learn how to use the software. They would have to encourage him to use the tool as much as possible. He would need to practice his keyboarding skills or use speech-to-text software to get his ideas out. He would require regular training, access to a laptop, and concept mapping software. Leo, his family, and his teachers would need to assess regularly how this tool is being used and if it is effective in helping Leo organize his writing. Research on concept mapping software has demonstrated positive results for students. It allows students to reorganize outlines to strengthen structure and fluency. The computer-based visualization helps reduce frustration felt by students when using writing. The computer-generated maps are usually more complex and elaborate than pencil and paper maps. Students prefer to use computer-based tools due to the ease of revising and editing. They also have better attitudes towards writing when using a computer. Research also shows that concept mapping activities should be open-ended and maps should be student-generated. Teachers should encourage revision and editing when using concept mapping software. Concept mapping software allows an alternative to a text-based mode of thinking. Students using concept mapping software are seen to write longer and with more cohesion and structure. However, concept mapping software does not increase the complexity of sentences. One type of concept mapping software is Smart Ideas. It costs approximately $60. Leo would benefit from using concept mapping strategies for his writing. Using the SETT framework, we have determined that concept mapping software would help him bypass his writing challenges, organize his thoughts, and write longer and more fluent sentences. In conclusion, in order to be successful with the tool, Leo's teachers would have to model and scaffold how to use graphic organizers. They would need to use a gradual release model. Leo would need lots of practice with concept mapping learning strategies. He would need regular writing strategy instruction. He would be most successful with the use of open-ended templates. Teachers would have to model and scaffold how to use the software, perhaps starting with Quick Create and then moving on to custom maps. And he would need consistent and regular use across all his subjects. Thank you for listening to my presentation.